Hi Jack, as you may know.
Ναι, παιδί μου, 3-2-1 σου λέει ο
Εντάξει, ρε
άλλος.
παιδιά.
Τι όχι, θα είναι κομμένο τέτοιο. 3-2-1 θα πει και θα αφήσει μια ανάσα. I'm an actress, very famous.
Not that famous. So, hi Jack, we're of course the morning guys, the Easy Breakfast show guys. So it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We are supposed to be the funny guys. So
that
yeah,
you guys-
that's the
that's
spirit.
That's
You
the
have to
spirit.
love that.
You know,
That's the
sometimes laugh even if you don't like it, and if you don't like something, we will cut it in later.
We ask to our people, to our
Yeah.
listeners, to ask you some questions. So we will start with this section. Okay, from all your songs that you've written and sung, which one is your favorite and why? But you have to say one.
I haven't written it yet.
So where do you write?
Everywhere.
The
to be
toilet.
honest. Actually, everywhere
Mostly.
but the toilet.
One of our listeners, he asked if you know any Greek songs.
Yeah, well.
Crazy.
Yes!
Yes, yeah, great.
Fantastic.
You're great. Yeah. So you have to prove that the Italian language is the sexiest one. You can say, I smell garlic and the toilet broke. You're going to
Okay.
say to the camera, and you are going to be very sexy.
Sento l'odore di aglio quando mi si rompe il bagno.
Yeah, that's the sexiest he can get for all you girls.
Girls who want
That's as
him,
good
who
as it
want
gets.
him,
Who,
you're
desire
going to be angry.
It's as good as it
More
gets.
for him.
Good luck with your secret concert.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jack Savoretti, exclusive live event. Καλησπέρα και καλώς ήρθατε στο exclusive live event του Easy 97,2. Είμαι η Δέσποινα Κρητικού και έχω τη χαρά να έχω μαζί μου τον ένα και μοναδικό Jack Savoretti, ο οποίος ήρθε στην Αθήνα εχθές αποκλειστικά για τον Easy 97,2 και για λίγους τυχερούς ακροατές που θα έχουν την ευκαιρία να τον παρακολουθήσουν σε ένα unplugged performance. Είναι η δεύτερη φορά που τον φιλοξενώ στο στούντιο του Easy και είμαι πολύ χαρούμενη γι' αυτό. Hello Jack, welcome.
Hello,
Welcome to
thank you very
Athens.
much for having me.
Welcome to Easy.
Thank you.
It's been 2 years and a new album.
Yeah, a lot has happened since the last time I saw you. We were trying to talk about when it was, and I think it was kind of the summer about 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Actually, it was July 2022.
Yeah, so almost exactly 2 years ago. Yeah.
So, what
So-
are you up to lately?
Well, I went and made another record. I made a record entirely in Italian. It was kind of this bizarre chain of events that happened in my life that put me in a situation where it was the first time I didn't choose to make an album. I had to make an album, and I had to do it in Italian. And so it's been an amazing 2 years of kind of going back to learning how to write in a different language, learning how to express myself in a different language, and through that process, also rediscovering my own heritage and my own identity that I've got to know a lot more thanks to this process. So it's been an amazing couple of years.
So, all of your albums have a personal story as a starting point.
Yeah.
What's the story behind Miss Italia?
Well, there's numerous stories behind it. I mean, the catalyst was my reason for wanting to learn how to write in Italian came from a very cataclysmic event in my life, which was the passing of my father 2.5 years ago. And when he passed away, I had the first time I'd ever experienced grief. And it was a very new experience because up until this point in my life, I've always managed to deal with the emotional or the physical, the psychological. I've always had a pretty good weapon, music, to sort of help me get through those journeys. But when it came to grief, it wasn't the same thing. The tools that I usually use weren't helping. It was an overwhelming feeling of sadness, pain, and also sometimes extreme happiness and extreme lightness. But I just didn't know what to do with it. And the only way that I could sort of find some understanding was listening to Italian music. That was the one thing that kind of suppressed the grief or made me enjoy the grief, like where I could almost embrace it and enjoy the feeling that it was giving. And so by having that experience, I decided to double down and lean into it. And I decided I wanted to sing in Italian, but more importantly, I wanted to learn how to write in Italian. So I went to Italy for like 1.5 years, surrounded myself with some of my closest friends are very established, good, successful songwriters in Italy. And I basically said to them, teach me, how do I do this in Italian? How do I express myself? How do I dive into these feelings by using the Italian language? And it was tough to begin with because I was definitely the stupidest guy in the room for a long time, saying things that you're not supposed to say in Italian and getting it wrong. But, you know, I think whenever you put yourself in a new environment, a new experience, you change for the better. You discover a part of yourself that wasn't there before. So I was really glad that I did this, because as difficult as it was many times, every day of writing, every experience, I was learning so much, not only about Italy and about Italian music and the language, but I was learning a lot about myself.
So it's like difficult moments create amazing albums, right?
Unfortunately, that seems to be the case. I mean, the album isn't about that, so to speak. Like, I ended up writing, the album has a lot of different themes in it. I don't think it's a sad album, actually. It's, funnily enough, it's an album where I almost went on this amazing journey around Italy and around my heritage. And these are all postcards. Like, every song is like a postcard saying, like, oh my gosh, you've got to see what I've just discovered, how beautiful this is or how amazing that is. So I'm referencing a lot of sometimes superficial little photographs of Italy, but sometimes I try to go a little bit deeper and show the layers of what Italy is to me, what this country represents to me. And so the album is a bit of it's a collection of postcards from a life-changing journey that I took across Italian culture.
So it's an Italian album from end to end. Did you record it in Italia?
Yeah, I recorded it in Milano and Rome, wrote it in Milano and Rome, but traveled around a lot. It's weird because I don't want it to be considered an Italian album. Like, it's my album. It just happens to be in Italian. So I didn't want it to be pastiche. I didn't want it to sound like a typical Italian album. And I hope it doesn't. It took a while, though, because when I was learning how to write, I was imitating. When you're learning something new, it's human nature to imitate. That's how you learn. So for the first 6 months, every song I was writing sounded like songs of my favorite artists. And it was actually I went back to England and wrote with an English friend of mine in Italian. And that's when suddenly I found what was my voice in Italian. And so the album was born kind of from that.
Did you have a moment in this album that you said, you know what? Oh, this is not happening. I'm living the dream. This is what I want to do.
I had a lot of moments of doubt with this album.
Okay.
Halfway through, there was one particular trip to Rome where I just thought, what am I doing? It felt a bit selfish. It felt like I was just on this, I don't know, I don't think I've ever done something so much just for me, like making this album. It was a real personal choice. Like, I need to do this for me. And then that would suddenly actually became what gave it value. I was like, wait, I can't let go of this because this is something I need to do for me. So it was a constant battle of like, am I being selfish or am I being brave and bold and doing something for myself? It was a constant dilemma. And it still is. I mean, if I'm totally honest, I have a lot of people that work with me and believe in me, and I have to also motivate them as much as they motivate me to keep doing what we're doing, to live our dream and to live our life making music and traveling the world. And when you show up with an Italian album, that does become a bit more complicated. So we're learning from that. But at the same time, everybody, including not just my team, but the audience, has been amazing. Like, people are receiving it not just in Italy, but in England, here in Greece, in France, in Germany, in Switzerland. Like, we're seeing amazing reception for this album, and I think that's been a real eye-opener for me. Why you make an album matters. It's not just the music. I mean, the music matters more than anything, of course.
Exactly.
But I think why people make stuff or people do stuff, I personally think that's really important, and I think this album is an example of that.
So this album was a challenge for you. Which part was the most difficult one, the singing or the songwriting?
No, the singing, no. Singing in Italian is amazing. It's such a lovely language. It's all vowels, so it's a very musical language. When you hear Italians talk, it's beautiful, it's melodic, it's multisyllabic, it moves around. But writing is really, really difficult. It's incredibly poetic. This is a bit of a generalization, but it's a complete opposite of writing in English. Like, in English, you almost try to remove the poetry and you try to use everyday language. Like, that's the greats, the Bob Dylans, the Leonard Cohens, the Springsteens, the James Taylors, Paul Simon. They take poetic ideas, but they kind of simplify them in everyday language and make it really accessible, makes it universal, makes it accessible to everyone. That's the genius. In Italian, it's the opposite. If you use everyday language, it becomes a bit banal, a bit boring. You have to use poetry. Like, actually, it makes it more sophisticated to use poetry. And that was really difficult to learn how to do because it goes against my instinct as an English songwriter. So it was interesting to learn those different
you were
cultures.
trying to think in Italian, not in English.
100%,
to
exactly.
write.
I wasn't writing in English and then translating. You can't do that. You have to go into the mindset of the culture because culture is important in a language. Like what's funny or not funny, what's romantic or not romantic. It has to do not with the word, it has to do with the culture around the word, how that word has been used.
I have a question that many of our listeners have. How can you write songs that speak directly to our hearts, even if we don't understand a single word? Because this is the thing with the Mediterranean, let's say, music, the Greek music, the Italian, the Spanish. When you are listening the songs, sometimes you cry out loud without understanding a single word. How can this happen?
That happens a lot. I mean, opera is the perfect example of that, you know. Even Italian opera, I don't understand half of the words in Italian, and I still get moved to tears. I think emotion is heard, it's felt, it's an energy thing. It's not necessary. That's what I mean. It's not really the one word or the meaning of the one word that triggers. It's why that word is said, how it is said. And I don't think I have the answer for why the magic of song does that. But it's amazing when it still blows my mind every time it happens. Even for me, I can, you know, be moved to tears by a French song. Or recently I had an amazing Japanese song and it destroyed me. A Finnish songwriter as well I was listening to the other day. And I think there's a lot to be said about human emotion is a universal language. It doesn't really matter the meaning of one single word, the significance. So that's the beauty of it. And I've learned that even more during this process of making an Italian album. Like I said, our English audience has reacted to it amazingly. And I did not see that coming. I didn't expect that at all. So to see even friends of mine who told me, oh, that song on your album, the third one, it kills me every time I hear it. And I'm like, you don't understand what it means. And they're like, I know, but I can't listen to it without crying. They'll say something like that. And that's I don't know, it's mystifying to me.
Do you have a favorite song of this album? Because I have one.
Do you?
Yes, it's Malinconia.
Oh, cool. Malinconia is a good one. I love Malinconia. I love all of them. I mean, I can't choose a favorite.
It's like asking if you have a favorite child, right?
Sort of. I mean, they change. They have their different purposes. It's the same like with your kids. There's a kid that you'll talk to more. There's a kid you'll laugh with more. There's a kid that you'll play with more. They all have different personalities and different reasons. You love them all the same, but you react to them differently. Okay. So that's how I feel with these songs. I love them all the same, but if I want to dance, if I'm driving, I'll listen to Malinconia. If I want to, you know, I don't know. If I want to dance, I'll listen to Bada Bing Bada Boom or something like that. So it depends what you're looking for. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to share a personal story with you, and I want to ask you for a favor, if you can do it, of course. So the story that I will share with you is my definition of the beauty in discovering new music. 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago, I was road tripping Lago di Como.
Oh, cool.
Yes, with my then boyfriend back then. And so we were listening to a radio station from Milan because this is what we do when we are working
in the
radio. We are
car.
listening to other radio stations.
Yeah, checking out the competition.
So a song came up and I was like, oh, interesting, but there was no reception. And I was trying to write down the lyrics because I wanted to look for the song. And when I had the reception, the song came up and it was Jack Savoretti, Sweetheart.
Oh, wow.
And back then, I had a radio show in the island of Rhodes. This is where I come from. Oh. So I wanted to play the song and I wanted to share the story because this is what radio is about. It's about storytelling.
So you brought it back to Greece.
I couldn't find the song, so I messaged your Facebook page, and if you search for my name, probably you will find this conversation. And you or your team or I don't know.
It would have been me 10 years ago. Definitely would have been me, probably. Yeah.
You sent me the song, and I played on the radio station. Yes, and this is for me is the definition of the beauty in discovering new music.
100%, yeah. But that's also the beauty of you as a DJ, because not many people would do that. And radio is a complicated game of politics sometimes. There's a lot of radio shows that would like to do that, they can't do that. So I think this is something that needs to be protected within radio, especially with the world that we live in of streaming and everything. I think this is where radio is going to kind of come back. Radio, I think, has fallen prisoner of playlists over the last few years. I don't know how in Greece, but just around Europe, this is what we see a lot. And now with streaming having its power and its, algorithms and playlists, the one thing that radio can do is bring back this human discovery. Like, people need to go to radio to discover, not just hear the top 10 hits, because you can do that everywhere else. So I think this story is wonderful, because that's what I think will keep radio alive over the next few years.
And this is the beauty of music as well, how it brings together people. And okay, so I wanted to listen a part of this song, because this is one of my favorite songs.
Of Sweetheart?
Yes, please.
I haven't played it in 10 years.
You see, this is your moment.
This is my moment to mess up live on radio. Give me a second to figure it out.
Tearing us apart, all the little secrets leaving us forever, buried in our hearts. Oh, and I won't go taking your sweet hurt from you, unless you want me to. Oh, something like that.
Thank you very much. It was so nice having here.
Thank you.
We are looking forward for your concert. It's 20th of September in Athens, the next day in Thessaloniki.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing shows. Perfect time of year to come back to Greece. So yeah, we're very excited about it.
So we are ready to see you in action.
Yeah, we'll do some songs today.
Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Play with me, do what you want with me. You won't see me putting up a fight. Look at me, look what you've done to me. Never let me go after tonight. This feeling that I feel, I don't wanna hide. Candlelight is how I like to see you say my name in the darkness. It's not the same, so come and kiss me before the sun goes down. 'Cause in the darkness, it's not the same, it's not the same. It's not the same. Promise me you'll wake up next to me. A lifetime, forever and a day. Stay with me, don't let our memory take from us the love we have today. It's this feeling that I feel, I don't wanna hide. Oh, say, candlelight is how I like to see you say my name in the darkness. It's not the same, so come and kiss me before the sun goes down. 'Cause in the darkness, it's not the same, it's not the same. I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide. Well, I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide. Send the night away, send the night away. Whoa, whoa, whoa. my name, 'cause in the darkness it's not the same. So come and kiss me before the sun goes down, 'cause in the darkness it's not the same, it's not the same. Candlelight is how I like to see you say my name, 'cause in the darkness it's not the same. Well, so come and kiss me, baby, before the sun goes down, 'cause in the darkness it's not the same, it's not the same. I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide. Well, I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide, I don't wanna hide. Yeah, oh no no, oh no no, oh no no no. Oh my 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 my. This moment of silence, I see your two sides, your inner peace, your inner violence. And I'm so scared of what I see, 'cause you're just like me. Fallen angels love to sing of their memories, broken dreams and broken wings. I'm so scared of what I hear. Your songs fall out of me like tears. What more can I do? No one ever sees this side of you. All your little lies, I know there's truth. All the foolish things you do when you ask me to leave, and I fall to my knees and I'm begging you, please. What more can I do? No one ever sees this side of you. Maybe it's not right, but it's still true. All the foolish things that you do, I'll never stop loving you. In this moment of madness and helplessness, in these hours of darkness and loneliness, I still see the light in you. I still see it shining through. Oh yes, what more can I do? No one ever sees the side of you. All your little lies, I know that's truth. All the foolish things you do when you ask me to leave, and I fall to my knees and I'm begging you, please. What more can I do? No one ever sees this side of you. Maybe it's not right, but it's still true. All the foolish things that you do, I'll never stop loving you. Is it ever too late Has it been too long to swallow your pride and admit that you were wrong? Is it ever enough? Oh, when you ask me to leave and I fall to my knees and I'm begging you please, what more can I do? No one ever sees this side of you. All your little lies, I know that's true. All the foolish things you do when you ask me to leave and I fall to my knees and I'm begging you please, what more can I do? No one ever sees this side of you. Maybe it's not right, but it's still true. All the foolish things that you do, I'll never stop loving you. See, oh, no, 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 no. Never stop, never stop loving. Never stop, never stop loving you. Never stop, never stop loving. Never stop, never stop loving you. Never, 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 never gonna stop loving you. No, no, no. I know that you know me better than anyone I've ever known. You've seen the good and the bad when I'm high, when I'm low, when the cracks start to show. When I lose control, I can't find my faith. You're the one who reminds me from where I came. Without you I couldn't make it. Don't ever let me break it. When it comes to you and me, there's too much history. Oh, I love it when it feels like this, dancing like it's 76. Too much history. Oh, still feels like the first time every time we kiss. 'Cause loving you's like drinking 2 shots to the heart. Every time I look at you, the perfect piece of art. Salt upon your skin, sunset in your eyes. Even the waves are falling for you. Like the moon, you change the tide. Oh no, when I lose control, can't find my faith. You're the one who reminds me from where I came. Without you I couldn't make it. Don't ever let me break it. When it comes to you and me, there's too much history. Oh, I love it when it feels like this, dancing like it's 76. Too much history. Oh, still feels like the first time every time we kiss. Yes. Oh, oh, no, 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 no. Say, in my mind. much history. I love it when it feels like this, dancing like it's 76. Too much history. Oh, still feels like the first time. Every time we kiss. Oh, there's too much, too much, too much history. Too much. Oh, there's too much. Oh, there's too much. No, oh, no, 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 no. There's too much history. I love it when it feels like this, dancing like it's 76. Too much history. Still feels like the first time. Thank you very much. Come posso raccontare questo strano bel paese al mondo? Non la superficie delle onde, ma quello che sta a fondo. Non voglio più difendermi da quello che non so di te. Mentre parlo strano, tu tienimi la mano, non serve più difenderti da quello che non sai di me. Aiutami a cantare, oh, io sarò sempre qualcuno di un po' strano. Che canta in inglese ma sogna in italiano. Oh, oh. Forse già lo sai, io vivo fra la gente. Oh, oh. E quello che non ho, oh, oh, forse non mi serve. Voglio più difendermi da quello che non so di te. E mentre parlo strano, tu tienimi la mano. Non serve più difenderti da quello che non sai di me. Aiutami a cantare, oh no. Io sarò sempre qualcuno di un po' strano. Che canta in inglese ma sogna in italiano. Oh, oh, yeah. Svegliati, è una nuova alba, un giorno che comincia, lo sai che non rinuncia. No, non ridere, è solo per amore che sbaglio la pronuncia. Io sarò sempre qualcuno di un po' strano. Uno che canta in inglese ma sogna in italiano. Canta e sogna in italiano. Canta e sogna in italiano. Canta e sogna in italiano. Oh, 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 Come posso raccontare questo strano bel paese al mondo? Thanks. chiedono come stai, cosa risponderai, ora che non sei più, ora che non sei più, ora che è tardi ormai, da domani ci sarà solo gente che non sa che eri la felicità. Where did you go? Did you find love? The laugh and the living that keeps us breathing. So sweet to think that nothing's forever. I keep trying to remember your last words. And if ever they ask you why you're not here for sunrise, è solo gente che non sa che eri la felicità. Oh, oh. Dovevi restare, trovare l'amore, vivere, ridere, respirare, dolce pensare che solo dolore suona che fa male quelle ultime parole. Suona che fa male quelle ultime parole. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, hey. Vivere, ridere, respirare, non riesco a ricordare quelle ultime parole. Where did you go? Did you find love? The laugh and the living that keeps us breathing. So sweet to think that nothing's forever. I keep trying to remember your last words. Dovevi restare, trovare l'amore, vivere, ridere, respirare, dolce pensare che solo dolore suona che fa male quelle ultime parole. Oh, oh. Suona che fa male quelle ultime parole. Thank you. All right, let's do one more. I don't understand it. I think they stole the sea. Together we can fake it that you still love me. Alone but never lonely. I'm not afraid of change. The future in our eyes and blood in our veins. Tell me where I need to go to understand. Have I lost another night letting go of your hand? It's not that I choose to forget. I see you walking through the cars out in the street, wondering what this life means to me. We both feel nothing else makes sense when we're senseless. I'll write the truth, I'll do it here with all the words I've never said to you. Ma ho paura di dirti che non ho capito niente, vivendo tra la gente che paga peso d'oro. Ma se ti vedo ancora, non hanno vinto loro. There's still a wild, wild ocean running through our veins. Whoa, tell me where I need to go to understand. Have I lost another night letting go of your hand? It's not that I choose to forget. I see you walking through the cars out in the street, wondering what this life means to me. We both feel nothing else makes sense when we're senseless. Ti scriverò, magari qui, parole che non ti ho mai detto. Oh, I'm afraid to say that I just don't understand it.
Thank you.
Easy 97,2. Ο σταθμός που σε χαλαρώνει.